Hi guys, so many of you guys have been DMing the Travel to Nigeria Instagram page, asking for information about the protocols for leaving Nigeria. Yes, I have focused a lot on going to Nigeria, but I was going to get to this point where I'm going to be sharing information on the travel protocols for leaving Nigeria. And specifically, this video is going to focus on leaving Nigeria, going to the UK. And going to focus on going to the UK directly on direct flights. The reason being, there might be additional protocols that you need to adhere to if you're flying, for example, Emirates to through Dubai or Turkish to Istanbul. And I don't want to overcloud this. Maybe I'll do separate videos for those ones, but this video is specifically for people that are flying the British Airways and the Virgin Atlantic from Nigeria to the UK, to England specifically. That is exactly what this video is all about. First of all, if you're not following Travel to Nigeria on Instagram, I really implore you to follow Travel to Nigeria on Instagram because it's an amazing resource for information for Nigerian travelers when it comes to travel. If you want up-to-date travel information, protocol changes, all this information, you get it first there before you even get to my YouTube channel. So I implore you to follow Travel to Nigeria and also turn on your notifications. If you want to be a more engaged participant, part of the community, I will implore you to join the Travel to Nigeria private Facebook community page. This group has been said to be one of the most useful groups ever for Nigerian travelers online. So I would implore you to check that one out too. If it's your first time here, my name is Sassy Funke. I'm a Nigerian author. Yes, I recently just wrote the first ever travel guide for Lagos, Nigeria. It's locally curated, it's of high quality. It's on Amazon. Click. I'm going to leave all the links where you can buy my book in the description box, so go check that out. I am also a travel and lifestyle content creator with the aim to help African and Nigerian travelers travel better and smarter. That's the whole aim for my channel. If you think that is something that might resonate with you, that you might find interesting, I ask you to hit that red button down below and subscribe to my channel. Also turn on your notifications so you never miss my content when they come out, which is super important during this pandemic because I don't want you guys to miss any updates or anything like that. So make sure you turn on your notifications. I want to start off this video by saying that it's really important for you to double check any information you get out there with verified sources. I do my homework. So for example, for this video, a lot of the information I'm sharing with you is on the gov.uk website where the UK government actually stipulates and break it down for you what they need for you to do before you come into their country or come into your country if you're British too. So it's important for you to double check that information. The information I'm sharing today is valid as at the 29th of December 2020. As we know with this pandemic, things are changing all the time. Travel protocols are changing, governments are shaking things up. So it's really important that you have up-to-date information and you verify your information. So make sure you even save the link I'm going to share down below so that you always have that at hand before you travel to just double check that things are quite the same. So guys, there are two main things that you need to be aware of before you travel to the UK. Number one, you need to fill out a passenger locator form, even if you're transiting. Number two, you need to know about the self-isolation rules. So number one, on the UK government's website, they say this: because of coronavirus, COVID-19, you need to complete a passenger locator form before you arrive in the UK, right? So let me just break this down for you a little bit. The passenger locator form is basically for the government to know your whereabouts when you're going to be in the UK, right? So that they can track you and they can basically track and trace COVID spread and things like that. So that's why they need you to fill out this form. Right? These are 7 elements of the form that you should know from the onset. Number one, it's free to fill. Don't let anyone scam you on this. You don't have to pay anybody to fill out this form. Number two, it takes you approximately, I'll say 10 to 20 minutes to complete this form. Number three, this form can only be filled at the earliest 48 hours before your flight. So what you can do here, just set yourself an alarm, because you might be so busy living life, enjoying Nigeria, set yourself an alarm just before you go, 2 days before you go, so you can fill out the form. Number four, every adult has to complete a form each. Even if you're British, even it doesn't matter, anyone coming in has to fill this form and every adult has to fill their own form. Number 5, children under 18 can actually be under your own form as an adult. So for example, my baby, for example, when I'm filling out my form, there'll be a prompt for me to add underage travelers that I'm traveling with, and I'll put your information there. And you can put the information there as long as you guys are going to be residing in the same place for the next 10 days when you leave the airport. Number 6, the confirmation that you actually filled out this form properly will be given to you instantaneously. So you get the confirmation ASAP. Number 7, I would advise you to download this form and keep a copy with you, because I know they're going to ask of this form, when you're traveling out of Nigeria. So it's best to just have the document with you rather than, what's it called? Hassle looking for your phone, battery dead, Just print out the form before you leave. Take it to the airport. I am now going to walk you through some elements of the passenger locator form so you know exactly what to expect once you get on the website. So when you go on the gov.uk/UK-border-control website, you can scroll down, you get to a completed passenger locator form. You click on this form, gives you some information with regard to you to need your passport details, your travel details, your address, and a bunch of other things that you need to start the form. Make sure you have all these things at hand. Just make your form process easier. So once you start the application, you click start an application. It then tells you to register your email address. It's important that you take your time to write the right email address here, because by giving the right email address, you get your confirmation sent to the right email. And also, if you do not complete your form, it actually saves it for you so that you can go back and complete it later on, as long as you register here. It then proceeds to ask whether you're filling this form for yourself or for somebody else. If it's for yourself, you say no, because you're not filling it out for someone else. It then tells you to provide your telephone numbers in the UK or outside of the UK, depending on what number you have. You save. Here it asks you how you want it to be contacted. Either to contact you by phone, by messaging. Here you then go on and it asks you for your name information, and this should be the same name you have on your passport. Save and continue. This particular section is focused on your travel plan. So you put in information, your date, which you plan to arrive in the UK, what time you're going to arrive in the UK, and when you also plan to leave the UK. If the date that you're actually going to be arriving in the UK is less than 48 hours, you can go to the next section. Here you put in your sex information. You then also put in your date of birth. It requires for you to put in your home address. Then next, it asks you for your passport information. You put your passport number, the issuing authority, where it was issued, like Nigeria or wherever else it was. Put your issue date, your expiry date. This is just for them to have the record that it's you that's actually going to be arriving in the UK. You then share with them what your travel plans are, whether you plan to stay in the UK, whether you're going to change flight, transiting, or whether you're going to travel more than once within 24 hours. You basically have to share this information with them. They then ask you for details of your arrival in the UK, where you're going to arrive specifically, which airport, which country are you traveling from, what's your flight number, what's your seat number, all this information. If you don't have your seat number, by the way, it's completely fine. You don't have to give that information if you don't have it. It then asks if you're traveling as part of an organized group. Probably you'll say no here. Ask you if you're people you're traveling with. This is exactly where you can put minors on your profile if you're going to be traveling with minors. I just put no here. But if you were to travel with a minor, you would have to put their information too. It then asks you which countries you have visited, which countries have you been or will you be in for the 10 days coming into the UK, right? It then also asks you your arrival date, put that information in there, and departure date if you have any. It then asks if you visited other countries or islands so that they can be aware. It then asks you where you're going to stay. If you know where you're going to stay, it's going to ask you for the information of the specific, who you're going to be staying with, and specifically
the address you're going to be staying at, so they know exactly where you are going to be for the first 10 days of arrival in the UK. Then it asks about if there are other accommodation where you're going to be staying. In case in that first 10 days you're going to be staying in 2 different places, it asks for that information. Next, it then asks about the test to release for international travel. If you've opted for that test to release to leave self-isolation early, if you've tested early, if you plan to test early, basically. It then also asks you about your emergency contact. So if they can't reach you, they know they can reach somebody else. So you can put in information here just in case, for example, you don't have a number that operates when you're going to be in the UK. You can put your family members' phone number, email address here. Just let them know that you're going to be putting the information as the emergency contact. So if the government tries to reach out to you, they can, and they can't get you, they can reach out to them. So finally, it takes you to a place whereby it allows you to check all your answers, your personal information, your travel information, passport details, everything is on here. Every single question you've answered is on here. Double check this information to make sure it's okay. If it's okay, continue. It then asks you to declare that the information you provided, that is everything is good. You can select to send a PDF by email and they'll send it to you. But once you go to this, you submit, you then basically get a confirmation that you can download right away and print, but it'll also be a confirmation in your inbox. So you can also go and print it from there too once you've completed it.
The second part of sort of like the requirements for traveling to the UK is understanding the self-isolation rules. On the website, they said it here that you may also need to self-isolate for up to 10 days when you arrive, depending on where you traveled from. You need to self-isolate in the place you're staying for the first 10 days after you arrive, unless you're only visited an exempt country or region. There are some countries whereby you don't need to self-isolate if you're coming from those countries, but Nigeria is not one of these countries, so we can skip this part. Nigerians have to self-isolate. The only contention here is whether or not you need to self-isolate, you can leave self-isolation early or not. But before we get there, I think it's important to note that the government has said that you may be fined up to £10,000 if you do not isolate when you need to. And you can also be prosecuted if you do not pay the fine on time. You guys, this is not Nigeria whereby they don't have cameras to be looking at you and tracking you. The UK, they have gadgets. So don't risk, just self-isolate. The only contention with this self-isolation is whether or not there's a way around shortening the period of self-isolation, which there is. The government says you may be able to end your self-isolation early if you pay for a private coronavirus test through the test to release scheme. Please note that all this information I'm giving you is specifically for England, though. Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland is different. So if you want to leave self-isolation early, you can take a coronavirus test 5 days after you've left your exempt country. So imagine you arrive in the UK on Monday afternoon, you can only do your test on Saturday, because only on Saturday that you spend 5 full days, and you can do your test there then. But you have to book the test in advance, and the test cannot be an NHS test because the government has actually provided like specific labs that you can do those tests in. You can book in advance to do that test, right? You pay for it in advance too. If you pay for it in advance too, it's important that the reference number that you get, you put it in your passenger locator form so that they know that you're going to be testing, 5 days at the earliest or wherever. All this for them to know that if you end self-isolation early, you haven't committed a crime because you opted to do this private test that they'll be monitoring. So for example, guys, if you end up taking this private test when you land in the UK after 5 days, you can end self-isolation if it comes out negative. The moment it comes out negative, you can end self-isolation. If it turns out positive, you have to isolate for 10 days. 10 days starting from the day at which you tested, right? I hope that really makes sense, guys. So guys, that is the video, short, sharp, and to the point. Key to note that I did not mention that you need a coronavirus test to leave Nigeria. There is no requirement by the UK government for you to do a coronavirus test to go to the UK. And there isn't one by the Nigerian government too, because you're not going to their country, you're leaving Nigeria. So the requirement is from the UK and there isn't any requirement on their part for you to do a COVID test. If someone tells you that you need to do a COVID test, please challenge them, show them this website information from the UK government, and I'm sure, and I assure you, you'll be okay. I really hope this video has been super useful. If you have specific questions, please, as always, drop them in the comment section. I'm thinking about doing a YouTube live Q&A sometime later, in the next couple of days or so. If you're interested in that, you think I should do one, let me know in the comment section too. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found the video very useful, very educative, and informative. If you have, do share this video in your WhatsApp groups, in your Instagram groups, everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. And thank you guys once again for your support, your love on this channel. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.